Good morning. It is around about 10 to 10 on Sunday the 11th of February 2024. I thought I'd do a quick update as to how things are at the minute. Health wise, I'm still having my good days and my bad days, but there is an actual update to getting my reversal. Now, I phoned the doctors back in early December, and I was actually on hold for 3¼ hours. I got on the phone at 8 o'clock. I was number 12 in the queue, and they finally picked the phone up to me at, I think it was just after 11:10. Yeah, and I had a chat with the doctor, and the doctor said, well, we don't do re-referrals here, you need to go and chase the surgeon up. So I thought, okay. So I gave it a couple of days and spoke to the hospital and left a message on their answer phone. Didn't hear anything for a couple of days, so phoned the hospital again and left another message saying, well, look, either way, let me know. If it's not your problem and it's the doctors, let me know and I'll chase the doctors again. So didn't hear anything again. Comes to the new year, I went down with a chest infection, so I had to phone the doctors. So I phoned the doctors up, and the doctor went blah 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 through all my medical records, said, I see you had an ileostomy in 2019. I says, yes. I says, I'm chasing the hospital up, and the hospital is saying it's you. And the doctor said, well, no, you need to chase the hospital to re-refer you. I went, well, okay, so I'll get on to it as soon as I get rid of all this bloody chest infection. So give me antibiotics, which knocked me for sick for a week. Unfortunately, the week they knocked me for sick was the week of my birthday. So my birthday was on the Saturday and Northampton were home. So I had to get the train down, which was fun because I had to get the train from Peterborough to Nuneaton, then Nuneaton to Rugby, then Rugby to Northampton. Lucky enough, I've got a friend of mine who said he'd pick me up from the station and drop me back. And actually, his sister was going to see a friend in Rugby, so she gave me a lift back. So she gave me a lift back to Rugby, which saved an hour off my journey. But went to see the patient advisory service at the hospital because I was getting no joy at all from phoning the surgeon's secretary up, and she said, take a seat, give me 10 minutes, I'll go and have a look. So she said, no, you've been you're off the record here because it's been over 3 years. You need to be chasing your doctors up. I says, well, I chased the doctors up. I said, I even took a printout of my notes on my doctor from a doctor that said it's not our problem, it's the surgeon's problem. So she said, can I keep that? I said, yeah, I've got a spare saved on my my Google Drive, because that's where I keep all my medical stuff. So she said, fine, right. So she says, I'll phone the surgery up and see what they say. So she says, leave it with me. It says, if I get any joy, I'll send you a message on your phone, or I'll email you. So didn't hear anything else. Phoned the doctors up again about 3 days later. They said, no, it's not our problem. I says, pals have told me it is your problem. It's because I'm in the gap. So left it with them. Thought, solid. Got to last Monday. I'm going to go higher. So I was looking for the contact, and then there's a contact email for my health surgery, which ironically is about 30 seconds walk behind where I'm parked the car from where I am now. So I wrote them a stinking email saying, look, what the bloody hell's going on here, and let's get it sorted, because I'm being passed from pillar to post. I said it'll be 5 years in April since my operation, and I was told I'd be reversed in 2. And ironically, it was the 5th anniversary of the day I actually got told that I had bowel cancer, which they tell you, and then they work backwards. It turned out to be diverticulitis, and it was a lump in there that was 50-50 whether it was going to be cancer or whatever. So they caught it early. So sat there, half hour later, I got an email back saying a doctor will phone you within the next 24 hours. So I thought, fine and dandy. Checked my record on my thing. Doctor was going to phone me between 1 and 1:30 on last Monday. So sat there waiting, didn't hear anything. Got a message about 6 o'clock saying, apologies, you'll now get a phone call tomorrow, which was the Tuesday. So I went to work Tuesday morning and I checked my phone. It said it'd be a phone call between 9 and 9:30. So told my boss. And he said, yeah, fine, just tell the boys on the machine and we'll send the spare up to, they can cover you for 5 minutes. He says, won't be that long, will it? I said, shouldn't think so, 5-10 minutes. So fine. So she phoned me 9:30, the doctor did, and started chatting. And unfortunately she said, I'm really, really sorry. He says, I'm the emergency doctor here. I've got to go to an emergency. So she said, can I phone you back in about an hour's time? I said, yeah, fine, I'm on my break then. So she shot off, heard all these sirens in the background. And then 10:30, she phoned me up again. And she went through my records and said, yeah, she said, we can re-refer you quite easy. So I said, well, where's the problem? She says, because the 2 previous doctors I've spoke to have said, no, it's not the medical practice's problem, it's the doctor, it's the hospital problem. So she says, yeah, I've looked through your record. Says, I can't see why we can't just re-refer you. So she says, I've put you through for a re-referral. She says, unfortunately, it'll be held up for a while, for 2 weeks. It's because we need to get a base record for you because it's over 5 years since you were hospital. So the last time we've got medical records for you of your height, weight, blood pressure, you know, all your hormone levels and blood levels and whatever was in 2019, which is 5 years ago. So he said, we need some of them. So he said, I see you're on the weekly scheme they do. Once every couple of years, they send you a thing and you've got to take your blood pressure for a week and then send them the average for the week, which I've just completed. So he said, once we got that, he says, no, I'll book you in for the Wellman Clinic, says, which is a service we do for people who turn 50. So we've got a base level of what they are at, what their levels are at 50, and then we check you every 3 or 4 years just to see if anything's changing. She says, unfortunately, because you turned 50 in the middle of COVID, we didn't get your base record, so we're going to get you a 52. So I said, fine. So I've got an appointment booked the 4th of March. So she said, as soon as we get your base levels in, that referral will go through. She says, it's gone to the hospital, they know. So she says, they might send you a message and say, oh, come back, but we haven't got a base level. So she says, all we need is a blood sample and then we get all your base levels. So she said, yeah, fine. So we went through all that and she says, I think I found where the problem is. Now, because I remember my doctor's surgery changing over electronic systems in 2021. And we went from the surgery's own online system to a system called Anima. Or System Online, wherever it, yeah, it went from System Online to Anima, which is an app which you can go on and book your hospital, your appointments and whatever. So she says, yeah, I remember that. She says, now, looking at your records, she says, I found something on here that basically what should happen is when you were released from hospital in 2019, there's a note on there that says to trigger the doctors in 2021 to book you in for an appointment to come and see us, to then suggest a re-referral back to the hospital to get your ileostomy reversed. And what we think has happened, it's fell down the gap between where we changed that, because they shut down for a week, and when they changed over system, she says, we think it looks like it's happened in that week. So the doctors wouldn't have picked it up unless they really looked. So that's where the problem is. She says, but anyway, you're booked in for a re-referral. Says as soon as you get your bloods through and your heart rate through and everything, your base level through, you should be in for a re-referral. Says it may take 2 months for them to reply back to you and say, yes, you're on the system, and away you go. So yeah, that's the health bit over. A bit of a long blurb, but there you go. Football wise, I've now got a half-season ticket to Northampton, which I've been to a couple of home games. I've been to 1 or 2 away games. Last one was Bolton yesterday, where we drew 1-1, and it took me nearly 2.5 hours to drive home from Northampton back to Peterborough in the rain, because it was flooded roads everywhere. So yeah, like I've probably said before, I don't coach anymore because of the debacle at Yaxley, where I got blamed for verbally abusing a referee when it was proved that I was 120 odd miles away in East London at the time, and I actually got signed witness statements from the club I was helping out at the time, which was St Ives, and 4 of their players are signed to say yes, I was there, because they definitely saw me. And I've actually got my what was it, my travel card I sent in as well, and I even used my Oyster card just to start it up, and I even sent in the Oyster card receipts to say that I travelled to Walthamstow, which was the nearest station. It's got me checking in and checking out of Walthamstow at, I think it was 1 o'clock, and checking back into Walthamstow at 10 to 5. So that proves I was in that area. Yet the FA still decided to ban me. So well, there you go. But I spoke to my mate at Northampton FA. She says, yeah, let them ban. He says, if you're banned, you said, they can't throw any more shit in your direction. She says, I know you didn't do it. We at Northampton FA know you didn't do it. We know who did. So that's that. So now I just go and watch games on a Sunday. So I'm flitting between going to see my mate Nay at AFC Rushden Diamonds Women, and my other friend Dieter at Netherton. And it was quite nice last Sunday because Dieter played her first game in over a year, and she's got a ACL damage. So the doctors have said she can play, but just be very, very careful. So she came on for the last 5 minutes of their game, which was nice to see her run around again. And mate Clinter, now Clinter's hard as nails, she hit a shot that shook the goalpost and the crossbar fell off. So yeah, you don't want to cross them two. The other fun thing on football is we've got the local derby coming up soon, where Northampton are playing at Peterborough, and the tickets were supposed to go on sale on Saturday, as in the Saturday just gone past, to season ticket holders and half season ticket holders and whatever. Unfortunately, the system threw a wobbly and released them to everybody. So every Tom, Dick and Harry's gone on there and bought tickets, and season ticket holders and half season ticket holders have now got a fight over 500 tickets, whilst the other 1,400 are going to every Tom, Dick and Harry. And I was on the concourse in the West Stand yesterday, and I heard 3 lads over saying, oh yeah, we've got our tickets, mate, don't you worry, we ain't going there for the game, we're just going there to cause trouble. Yeah, we're going to go and get pissed, cause a bit of trouble like we always do, and get back on the coach. Who cares? We ain't there for the football. So that's the way the club wants to run it. There you go. What else is there to say? Work at the minute seems to be holding on after all the strikes and everything. The section I work in, when I transferred from nights onto mornings 11 years ago now, there was 15 in our section. There's now 4, and they've now said we're going to get 2 more people in. At this moment in time, I am number 1 in seniority on there, but that will soon change, because apparently the 2 people who picked the job are now senior to me, which will bump me down to 3rd senior. There's now 25 people trained in my section, and any Tom, Dick or Harry can get trained up in our section, but we can't get trained up in anybody else's. There's no training for that, we get told. So the worry is they're literally going to turn around now, and you're going to clock in the morning, it's going to say, blah blah blah, you signed in, you are working in X area today, and that's the way they're going to work it. because that's the way they want to do it. They don't want full-time staff there. They don't want people like me. You know, I've been there, it'll be 28 years in July. They don't want me, a full-timer, in there. They want agency workers who are on a 0-hour contract, who have got no union, who've got no sick pay, no holiday pay, whatever. They're just there on the basics, that's it. So yeah, we shall see on that one, because I'm genuinely worried for my job at the minute. Anyway, that'll do. I've rambled on for 60 odd minutes according to the GoPro. So that, like I said, that'll do. Don't know when the next update will be. Toodle pip.